Hey everybody, Scott Jansen here, and in today's video, I'm actually going to break down my day-to-day routine of what I've been doing to manifest my dream business and also my dream life. Now, what's most interesting, guys, is probably not what you're thinking I do, and it's definitely probably not what you're doing in your own routine as well. So if you're big on manifestation, the law of attraction, and you're trying to grow your perfect business or your dream life, guys, I'm going to break down step by step what I've been using for years to help me manifest everything and accelerate my growth and the success of my business 100-fold. So guys, let's dive straight into the action and let's look at exactly what I'm doing each and every day to manifest my perfect and dream business. All right, guys, and here we go. So what you guys can see in front of you is my exact routine that I've used to manifest my business from scratch, and the same routine that I use right now as I'm scaling my business and I'm growing my own success. It is all right here. So the first thing I want to point out, guys, when it comes to manifestation, the secret law of attraction, I don't view it the same thing as everybody else, everybody else viewing it the same way that they do. For me, the law of attraction / manifestation, whatever you want to call it, is just simple cause and effect. Meaning that if I want something in my life, I have a goal in my life, I go out and get it. I create the causes and I take action on the causes that are going to produce the effects being my success. In business terms, this is simply known as inputs and outputs. Inputs are the actions that you take, and logically, if you take more actions, it's going to produce more outputs. And that is simply how I've designed my entire career, my entire dream business, my entire dream life, and anything that I've wanted in my life all came down to action taking. I think the whole law of attraction / the secret type thing has been totally blown out of proportion. We have more people wanting to manifest things in their life that spend all day manifesting with routines and talking to spirits and using tarot cards and, aligning their goals, doing timeline therapy and, hypnosis on themselves. And they spend all their day doing these things, but have no plan of attack, no actions to take. There's one thing I understand about the unconscious and the conscious mind. The unconscious, yes, we use it to set goals, but we use conscious activity to align to those goals and create those goals. I don't think goals are a matter of chance. I don't think, having success in your life or acquiring money, or if you want to call it law of attraction, whatever it is, I don't think that's by chance. I don't think it's got anything to do with like a manifestation power or energy or anything you can't see. What I think of it is basically cause and effect. So you're going to find this video very different, guys. I just want to give you my routine because I get this question asked a lot. I get asked, do you visualize? And the answer is no. Do you use like law of attraction, like role playing out the dream life that you want to have? No. Do you set your goals by setting the goals, aligning with the unconscious mind, making sure there's no conflict in doing timeline therapy or hypnosis on yourself? And the answer is no. This is it right here. And I want to show you the logical steps that I took to grow my business from scratch to where it is now and helping hundreds and thousands of other coaches and therapists do this for themselves. It all came to scheduling basically my life and giving myself the proper direct action that's going to get me to my goals. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to take you through all of this right here. Okay. Piece by piece. And as you can see, each day aside from Sunday is pretty much the same thing. Okay. So let me take you through step by step, and then I'll point out some important things and answer the question like why I don't visualize and why I think visualization is a real waste of time. Okay. Also about how I set my goals. For a lot of people, they set goals, they do the visualization thing. They do like some sort of routine where they sit and imagine that they've already got it. They try and bring in the images and the feelings. I'm not good at that stuff. So I don't use it. I don't try and force it on myself, but I understand how the mind works. I understand unconsciously we set a goal, but consciously we have to do the logical steps to get there. And like I said, I don't think it's some mystical power / energy thing / coincidence that we get there from spirit or connection. And you're fine, it's fine for you to believe that stuff. I just don't, okay? And I want to show you what I do. All right, so Monday. So I work from Monday to Saturday. So at 6 a.m., I wake up, okay? Pretty straightforward. Now, I like to wake up the same time every single day. Why is this so important? And why do most people overlook this? When most people start out in business or they want success, what are they focused on? Money, the success, the cars, the men or the women, the fancy things, the shiny objects. and they forget about the things they need to do to actually get there. And I find routine is one of the most overly looked things in our industry when people are going for their goals. And I think it's, if you can harness this routine and set your body to do the same thing every single day, you'll experience more success doing this than focusing on just the money, the cars, and the shiny objects. So what do I mean by this? Well, when you train yourself to wake up at the same time every day, you start to train your neurology. You start to train the way your body functions, your digestive system, the way you think, the way your brain operates. Okay, and there's a lot of research on this. And you'll find that a lot of these top entrepreneurs, you'll find the same routine in their business as well. They wake up at the same time every day and they go to the sleep at the same time every day. You're training your body. You're taking control of how your body responds to things. You're taking control of how your body digests food and produces energy. And by setting the mind and the body in a routine, which is what it enjoys, you don't have to worry about spikes of cortisol. You don't have to worry about spikes of energy. You don't have to worry about spikes of high emotions, low emotions, and that horrible wave that we can have throughout our day of, feeling good, then feeling bad, feeling good, then feeling bad. I find that by waking up to the same time every day and going to sleep at the same time every night, when I started to implement this in my life improved, my success massively improved, the success of my business massively improved, and the way I felt about myself and the energy that I had during the day and my thoughts and emotions all stabilized. So this is one big thing, guys. So I wake up at 6 a.m. Okay, I wake up, I go wash my face, okay, get ready for the gym, and I drive to the gym, which is about 10 minutes away. So I'm usually at the gym by like 6:30. 6:30 to about 7:15, I'm either doing cardio or I'm doing weights, depending on what I feel like doing on the day. And then I drive home. Once I'm home, I have a quick shower and I sit down at my desk. Okay. And though this isn't officially the start of my work, because here it is at 9 o'clock, I get into looking at my goals. So guys, let me explain how I do goals. Okay. There's so much information about it has to be written, it has to be in a certain journal, has to be aligned unconsciously and consciously so there's no conflict. You have to visualize everything. That stuff just confuses the hell out of me. So I take a very simplistic approach. I literally have a Word document that I have listed for that month. I try and set new goals every single month, or just sort of reinvigorate that goal, even if it's the same one I have each month until I achieve it. And I simply write it out. I just write a quick statement. I don't care about write it in the present, write it in the now. I don't care about any of that stuff because I figure my mind is pretty intelligent enough to figure out now and then and all that sort of stuff. I don't get into all that hype around that stuff. I literally write my goals as the way I feel it, okay? So usually I might have like 8, maybe 10 goals that I've written down that I literally just open up in my Word document and I read out loud to myself, okay? I'm not trying to connect emotions because I just can't do that. I'm not trying to connect feelings. I'm not trying to imagine. I'm not trying to force it. I don't do any of that stuff. I literally read it as if I'm reading a book. And I just focus on it. What I find is if I don't distract myself, like I'm not eating breakfast at the same time or I don't have the radio on, it's nice and quiet in my house, I look at it, read it. It literally takes me like 3 minutes. So what are my goals? Well, here's another thing that I've done for my goals for so many years. And I've seen massive acceleration in my success and manifestation, if that's what you want to call it. Sure, my goals, some of my goals are about me and what I want to achieve. So at a certain type of money, a certain amount of money that I want to be making per year or per month, a certain thing I want to have in my business, a certain thing that I want to have in my life. But I would say about 70% of my goals are customer focused. So what do I mean by this? Well, as you guys are well aware, I have a coaching business and we're coaching thousands of coaches, hypnotherapists, NLPs, and RTTs to grow their business. So my focus is on that. Okay, for a lot of people, when they're manifesting their goals or putting their goals together, it's all about the big cars, a lot of money, the men and the women, the holidays, the shiny objects. And to me, all of that is an absolute distraction. I don't want that stuff in my life. What I do want in my life and what I have my goals directed towards is what can I do to make my programs or my solutions for my market better? How can I help my students more? What can I do for them to get them from $0 to $10,000 to $20,000 per month? What motivation or what other things can I provide for my paying students so they can quit their job, they can spend full time with their business and grow their business and have their dream life? So pretty much 70, maybe 80% of my goals are directed towards my students. What can I do to make them more successful? And this is something that is known as obliquity. Okay, so obliquity basically means that, guys, when you're going for your goals, if you're focusing on money, fame, and success, that's the last thing you'll achieve. But if you focus on everything else that you can do to get to that point, you'll get there quicker. Meaning that as a result of my students becoming more successful, I become more successful. As a result of my students becoming more successful, leaving me testimonials, telling other people about how awesome my programs are, I become more successful and I make more money as a result of that, cause and effect. If I just concentrate on my money, my success, me, I'm going to lose sight of what got me to the quote unquote, got me to the dance in the first place, which was providing a great program, incredible support, and making sure I support my students to get to their goals. Okay, so nothing is better for my business and my success than a student messaging me saying, Scott, I've just quit my business and I'm making another $25,000 this month. This is literally the testimony we got just the other day. So when I market that testimony, what happens to my business? My business grows, my success grows, and it gives me more inspiration and more fire to go, okay, there's a handful of students getting this. Why haven't the rest of the students gotten to this point? And that's what I'm focusing my attention on. How can I fill that gap? How can I make all of my students achieve this? So I use obliquity with everything I do. And waking up first thing in the morning at the same time and going to sleep at the same time every day, every night, is the obliquity strategy, because I can control myself and my emotions. The better I control myself and my emotions, the better I'm going to act in my business. So I use obliquity with my goals, guys, and I highly, highly recommend that you do this. Instead of focusing on what you want, if you have a coaching business, you have clientele, if that's the type of business you're in, what can you do for your clients to make them more successful? As a result of them becoming more successful, you will become more successful. Okay, so concentrate on customer focus, client attention. That's where I put all my focus on. Okay. So from 7:30, I look at my goals. Guys, like I said, I pretty much read them out. I don't close my eyes. I don't visualize. I don't do any of that stuff. I just read. The way I look at like the whole goal setting thing, I'm just reminding myself of what I'm doing. That's it. Whatever happens at the unconscious mind, the conscious, I don't care. I don't have to work that stuff out. I just know if I keep reminding myself, I'll keep myself on track. And if I'm reminding myself of these goals all the time, what I find a lot of is I get a lot of inspiration and what I call aha moments. So that question I posed myself before with, like, what else can I do to help my students have more success? I'll, think about this question a lot. Usually my downtime or my day off on Sunday, I'm often repeating this question to myself, like, what else can I do? And I'll sit there, not get distracted, and I'll think and I'll think and I'll think until it sort of clicks in my mind. It's like a song you can't get out of your head. And then I'll go on about my day and I will become distracted. I'll go do other things. I'll keep myself distracted. And then out of the blue, unconsciously, this thought arises that gets pushed to my conscious mind and bang, I've got something new. It might be an iteration to the program. It might be a new style of support. It might be something else I've got to do that I never thought of before, because obviously we can't get that aha moment where we're concentrating on it, but out of the blue, this big inspiration, this goal comes to life, and I implement it in my business and for my students, and bang, next level of success. Okay, so looking at my goals, reminding myself and posing these questions to myself, like, what else can I do? Not what else can I do to get the Ferrari or the fancy car, the fancy house. I don't care about that stuff. What can I do for my students? And that's that obliquity strategy. All right, day preparation. So what is my day preparation? So what am I going to do that day? Okay, so my day, as you can imagine, is a mixture of strategy calls, catching up with students, iterating my program, doing paperwork, talking to my VA. So I'm doing a lot per these days. When I first started, I didn't have any of these things. So my only goal was, well, how can I get clients? When I first started, how can I get clients? So what did I spend my day doing? Social media, talking to potential clients, doing outreach, doing YouTube videos, doing anything I could. My day consisted of that. But now that my days are full of other things, I have to put those things to the side or mix them in somewhere. But my day is just a mixture of all things. So I'm not going to go in like what I do every hour of the day, because that would be pretty boring. But these are like the outside things. These are the structure, the glue that holds all that together. So day preparation, I'll get myself prepared, might grab a quick coffee, make sure I got water prepared, my notepad and pen, make sure I've answered any emails, anything like that. I get myself ready for the day. And 9 o'clock is I start work. I don't answer emails at 9 o'clock. I answer them before. 9 o'clock is either iterating my program, catching up with a student over Zoom, getting ready for a strategy call, which, I spend a lot of my days doing strategy calls to get people into my program, make sure they're the right fit, all of that sort of stuff. So I'm concentrating on that. So I don't have breakfast, okay, for my own self, okay. I find that if I wake up at 6 and almost fast, from 6 till 12, it's actually from, as you can see here, from 9 till 6, and I have that complete fasting. What I find is I'm not hungry in the morning, which is a great thing. I've slept so much better by not having food in my stomach. I'm more alert. My brain isn't foggy. I can think straight, and my emotions are stabilized. I'm actually excited to get on my day. I'm not nervous about anything or have anxiety about something, which is usually caused by like bad food, bad sleep, that sort of thing, or, full of caffeine or anything like that. So start work. The first meal I have is lunchtime, and it's usually just like protein and fats. I mean, I don't want to talk about a diet video because that's not what I'm an expert in, but this helps me. I have some protein, I have some fats, I have some vegetables, and I just drink heaps of water during the day. I've usually had one coffee in the morning, just with milk, no sweetener or anything like that. Coffee at lunchtime, and that's pretty much my caffeine intake, okay? So from there, lunchtime, I look at my goals at 12:30. So when I'm eating lunch, I eat lunch. I don't distract myself with anything else. I like to give my mind one task because I'm training myself with that obliquity to concentrate on one task and not multitask. 12:30, okay? I do the same thing that I do at 7:30. I just get out the Word document and I read my goals, make sure everything's good. I don't try and connect to the energy or the universe, anything like that. I just read my goals out loud. From 1 o'clock, I start work again. Okay, so I work from 1 all the way through till 4 o'clock. So 4 o'clock is my last meal. It's pretty much the same as lunch. I can pretty much eat the same thing every day. I'm not big on sitting there going, what am I going to have today? How can I make this taste better? All that sort of stuff. I'm not into that stuff. I realize food is just energy. And I have all that prep ready to go. I have my dinner. Make sure I have some water so I'm hydrated. From 4 o'clock till 4:30, I'm just having my dinner. 4:30, I look at my goals again, okay? Now, I look at my goals a lot, but here's the one thing I realized and why I don't visualize, okay? Not only can I not do it, and I tried to train myself to do it, and I just got frustrated, but I realized this. From usually 6 a.m., I start thinking about my business, okay? All the way through till 9 p.m. From 6 till 9 p.m. That's a lot of hours of the day to be thinking about my business. And in my mind, that's more efficient than doing some 15-minute connect to the goal, connect to the image, connect to the emotion type routine, and then getting on with your day and, distracting yourself with ridiculous things and just waiting for this manifestation God to give you everything you want. No, I'm thinking about my business and my students from 6 a.m. till 9 p.m. I think that would beat any visualization routine that you could do. And I'm not saying you can't visualize. If you're good and you enjoy it, more power to you. Just get it done. Put it in your routine. But for me, and for many people probably like me watching this video, I'm sure you'll appreciate someone saying that you don't have to do the connection to the universe thing. You don't have to do the connection to the image, the emotion. You don't have to do that, okay? There's no real proof in my eyes that I've seen that it actually creates more of the thing you're trying to go for. Okay, it's just an out there theory. It looks good on paper, but in my mind, it's not solidified. So I don't get into the whole argument or do any more research. I just do it my way because that works, and it obviously shows up in my life. But it doesn't. Things don't show up in my life as a coincidence or some arbitrary, energy that gave it to me. No, it's the fact that I work my ass off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and sometimes even Sundays to get to my goals. Okay. So I start work at 1, dinner 4 o'clock, look at my goals again, start work from about 5, and I work till about 8 o'clock. So as you can see, it's a pretty long day, 9 to about 8. So what's that, like 11 hours, maybe 12 hours if I work till 9 o'clock, and that's a pretty good day. Okay, and a lot of it is me sitting in front of my laptop, okay? So from there, I have something called Prepare for Tomorrow. So I'll go through my emails again. I'll start slotting in all my strategy calls if someone has booked. I might have a big project, like I might be iterating in part of my program that I need to block out like 5 hours in a row to get that done, so I'm not multitasking. Get ready for tomorrow. I clean up my desk. I wipe everything down, maybe a bit of a germaphobe, I guess, but I like everything to be nice and fresh. I get those bacterial wipes out. I wash everything just so everything's nice and fresh for the morning. I hate coming into an office when there's chaos, like paper everywhere, drink bottles, cups. I used to live like that, guys, and it was just a mess. I like to clean up at the end of the night, sort of clears my mind out as well, okay? Get everything ready for tomorrow, clean everything down so it's nice, crisp, fresh, germ-free, so to speak, ready for the next day, because then I'm motivated. I don't have to spend the first half of the day just cleaning all my crap up. Okay, so prepare for tomorrow, get everything ready, what I need to do. Look at my goals again. I know, pretty boring. So I'm going 1, 2, looking at my goals 3, 4 times a day, and that'll take me like half an hour all together. No visualization, no sitting there imagining what it's going to be like, being in the now, being in the present. I don't do any of that stuff. At 9 o'clock, I'm in bed. Now, I've trained myself that I don't really need downtime. Like, I guess my downtime is sort of looking at my goals the last thing of the night, maybe cleaning up and things like that. I've trained myself that once I lay down in bed, bang, I'm asleep. I have no problems with that. I used to be a very bad sleeper. I used to have a lot of insomnia. When I started to clean up my diet, as you can see, I'm eating here at 4, and I'm not eating again till 12 the following day. My sleep has just massively improved. Okay, and the way I digest my food has massively improved. My emotions stay stabilized. I don't freak out, have anxiety, excitement. I don't have those peaks and troughs of emotions I used to as a kid, because I was a very anxious and awkward kid, and I hated that. I didn't like those peaks of sometimes I was happy, sometimes I was depressed type thing. So I've taught myself how to get out of that, and it came down to food, better sleep, and definitely setting my routine. Okay, so 9 o'clock, I'm probably asleep. I'll have a shower, before I go to bed. So it's more, I'm cleaner. There's actually research on this, I think it's called sleep cleanliness. So when you have a shower and you wash yourself down, you clear your mind, so to think, when you're having a shower, and you go to bed, you'll sleep better because you feel cleaner. Okay, sleep hygiene. I apologize, not sleep cleanliness. Sleep hygiene. There's a lot of studies on it. I try all these things and it worked brilliantly for me. I like going to bed nice and clean. I have a great sleep. I'm not digesting any food while I'm sleeping. I'm actually just sleeping, okay? And then it starts again. Tuesday, same thing. All the way through. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So what happens on Sunday? So Sunday is my complete day off, okay? But as I'm recording this, it's actually Sunday because I had a big day yesterday. I didn't have time to create all my YouTube videos for the week. So usually Saturdays, I spend a lot of time making these videos for you guys. And Sunday, I had the day off, but I had to push my routine forward a bit. Anyway, I digress. Ideally, Sundays are my time off. I don't really stick to any sort of diet, okay? I can sort of wake up when I want to, but I don't like sleeping in. What a waste of a day. If I want to watch TV, I watch TV. That's very rarely, though, because I find that monotonally boring. I read books occasionally, but I'm not a big book reader unless I'm very, very, very interested in the subject, okay? I find for myself a lot of books that are out there, unless they're really unique, are a lot about the author talking about their life. So, for example, you might find a book on like how to build a business. But the first half of the book is the author talking about, when I grew up in the United States at the age of 2, my brother did this to me. This is what gave me the idea of how to run a multi-million-dollar business when I was 25. I don't care about their life. I don't care about that. I just want to get to the strategy, okay? So if I am reading books, it's usually books. The latest book I read was The Everything Store by Jeff Bezos and Amazon. Why? I mean, who else could you learn from? I actually find the Amazon business model extremely intriguing, so I read that. The book before that, might as well tell you what I've read. I read a book, and again, it's by choice, by topic. Okay, I just find this very intriguing. I read a book by an author called Cody Scott, and Cody Scott was actually a gang member in America with, I'm sure you guys have heard of like the Crips and the Bloods. I'm sort of digressing away what I'm doing from business, but I'll show you how this works and, why I read this book. And he was a leader of this big gang and what he did in life, all the trials and tribulations he had to go through, going through the prison systems and, being involved in murders and all this sort of stuff to now reforming himself. Now, why the hell would I be reading this book? What I liked about it was his passion for what he was doing in his life, although it was wrong, and how he reformed himself. And I took a lot from that as far as not the violence and the gang stuff, not that, but the way his attitude was to his desired goal. At the time, it was, to be a gang leader and all this sort of stuff. But what I took was what he was doing each day and how his mindset was around achieving his goal. So although I didn't take away the violence from the book, I took away his attitude, and I really enjoyed that about that book. The book before that, I was reading about the founders of Google. So I'm only reading books. If people ask me, like, how many books do you read? I don't read a lot. I'm not big on someone saying you have to read, 10 books a week because that's what CEOs do. Sure, if you like reading books, do it. If you don't, I don't see why we'd want to force ourselves to read something. I only read something if I'm interested in it, okay? So I digress again. Some days I might read one of those books. Very rarely will I sit in front of the TV and just sort of slob out and just eat junk food and all that sort of stuff. Usually on Sundays, I'll go out, I might have a coffee. I'll just do whatever I want. Sometimes I could find myself just sitting on the couch just in silence because I enjoy that. It's relaxing, okay? I might clean some of my house. I just do whatever I feel. I sort of break myself away from that routine and I do whatever I want on Sundays. So guys, that is it. Like, that is literally how I use, if you want to call it the secret, if you want to call it law of attraction, you want to call it manifestation, you can call it whatever you want to. This is what I do. I'm more inclined as far as to understand manifestation, law of attraction, the secret. The way I understand it is just cause and effect. If you want something in your life, sitting there visualizing it is not going to make it happen. Sitting there visualizing and taking some action might make it happen. Quickly doing your visualization or just understanding the way that goals work, giving yourself a task and completing those actions over long periods of time and dedicating yourself to achieve that goal and ignoring everything else will always make your goals come alive. Okay? But realize this as well. It's not by coincidence. It's not by some connection. It's not by some random law of attraction. Now, a lot of you guys will be listening to this just arguing with me right now, and that's fine. You can have your own beliefs. I'm only showing what I do. I believe this is the real key to law of attraction. I believe this is where your manifestation power comes from. To give yourself a task and do everything to achieve that task. Give yourself a routine. Schedule in your day. Give your mind and your body a routine to stick to. Instead of letting your body and your mind control you, you control the body and the mind. And I believe this is the key to this manifestation thing that's going on. All right, guys, so I hope that was revealing. Hope you guys got something from this. A lot of people asked me this question, so I did want to provide you guys with what I do each day. And as you can see, if I click across, my days all remain the same. It's pretty much the same thing. Okay, so guys, I hope you really enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun putting this together. As you can see, it's nothing too out there, no big theories, no random ideas. It's literally just logic, conscious actions that are lining up to meet my unconscious goal. That's what I want you to take away from this video. So I'll be very curious, in the comment box, leave your comments below. Has this made sense to you? Are you going to start to employ a routine and a schedule in your business? Do you have questions about the remainder of my routine? I'm always happy to answer these questions. So ask those questions below. I will make sure that I answer them. If you have any of these questions, make sure you write them below and I will answer these specific to your needs. But guys, that's all from me for now. Thank you again for joining me. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.